All right, now let's get to a little New Heights Film Club. That's right. Everything you guys have been waiting for, a little Roadhouse review. New Heights Film Club is brought to you by Burger King. Go ahead and get your favorite Whopper right now. You rule. We have to watch a movie this week.
Let's do it. I'm going to open up my notes.
Do a little homework.
Open up my notes. We've got a bit of programming update. We've seen how much everyone has loved the New Heights Film Club, so we've decided to put it in the regular show. We're working out, figuring out the release of the former Wondery Plus content, so stay tuned for Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants potentially. But don't worry if you've subscribed to Wondery Plus. We're still going to be giving you guys great content, and we appreciate all your feedback. And we can't wait to continue putting out those as well. But there's been a big appetite for this to be in the regular episode, and we are proud to offer the New Heights Film Club episode this week, Roadhouse, right now. That's right.
Such an iconic film.
Not the new one. This is the 1989 classic Roadhouse film.
Come on, baby. The classic Roadhouse.
Hopefully all of you guys have watched it and you are ready for this review.
It's literally the Jumanji for my parents.
Dude,
it's what I was made from right here. Are you kidding me? Nothing great. Like getting Patrick Swayze to get things fucking hot and steamy in the Kelsey household. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not gonna lie. This is definitely this is better than Jumanji. If you want to get the juices flowing, this is for anybody. It's got something for anybody.
Let's put some Vaseline all over Patrick Swayze's body and let's see where it ends up.
All right, let's start. Where's the film start? So the film starts. Frank Tillman owns a bar called the Double Deuce.
The Double Deuce in Kansas City.
The film, is it in Kansas City?
Dude, what? Yes, he's got it just outside of Kansas City.
Jasper.
This is a Missouri-based movie, dude.
Does this place actually exist?
I've been looking for it since '89, since I was born, brother. No, I'm kidding. I believe it is a made-up bar.
All right. So Frank Tillman owns a Double Deuce. You don't know it at the opening of the movie, but you see Tillman walking through an undisclosed bar.
He's scouting.
Right away, the tone is set. He enters a rough and rowdy bar with rock and roll music playing, tits on display.
Oh,
and it pans to a profile view of our lead man, Patrick Swayze, a.k.a. James Dalton. That's right.
Dalton.
Chiseled jawline, impeccable hair. He is dealing with an issue at the bar. Right away, we see his controlled demeanor. Clearly experienced, he handles the situation without igniting it further. We see this is a bad man as he is stitching his own arm after being cut with a blade.
Electric.
He is offered the job by Tillman for handsomely payment. I think in 1989 it was handsome payment. And he accepts. So that's the opening scene being set. Right away we see this guy's been through some shit. Anybody that's stitching their own arm up and they're not like a doctor, they've been through some shit.
I only remember like one other scene like this, and it was Jean-Claude Van Damme in a movie where he was like cutting out like a bruise or some sort of like, I don't fucking know what he was cutting out. I thought it was like some sort of bruise or something. But
are you thinking of the Arnold movie where he's cutting out the tracker that's in him?
That's it. Or when he's like pulling it out of his nose.
Yes, that's it.
These are either way. So back to Swayze. Swayze's this movie starts off, and I enjoy the music. First off, shout out to Jeff Healey,
dude, kills it,
legend.
Yes,
absolute legend. I've been listening to Jeff Healey music all fucking day.
Is he actually blind?
Yes, Canadian.
Okay, so that was true to
from Toronto. Okay. Yes, I had to look him up and make sure that this was legit, and he is as legit as it comes. Blues, rock and roll, you name it, man.
Dude, how about when it first goes into the Double Deuce and he's just in a cage and they're throwing gear? Like what kind of made up establishment is this?
Made up, dude. These gotta fuck.
There's no way places like that exist.
Sure. What? You think this is this is real? You think, guys? You think there weren't fucking rundown establishments like this? It was in Blues Brothers too, I think.
The first bar scene, they get in a fight because some dude says he's going to pay $20 to kiss another woman's tits, and then he doesn't pay it.
I don't got $20.
And then for some reason, the entire bar fights, and it was just these two guys. Right away, we get into
the music, the slang, some of the slang, like, dude.
The slang. You're talking about like the one-liners?
Just like somebody calling somebody else a hot shot.
Hot shot? Oh, I didn't even pick up on that.
Dude,
I was looking at the one-liners. Dude, the one-liners are so good.
Peckerhead.
Peckerhead. Gosh, what about the one-liners? The guy says, "Does a hobby horse have a wooden dick?"
Dude, calling me
that
sir's
one?
like putting an elevator in an outhouse.
Yeah,
Don't belong.
What does it say? What are you doing, dickless? Well, I ain't about to show you my dick.
Dickless.
But I'm on my break. Stay on it.
Stay on it. That was a banger. When he's giving the lecture. So as we get into the movie, he goes to this new bar, the Double Deuce, and he starts to fix it up by immediately canning everybody. He's starting to can the problems, the drug dealing lady, the bar back that's stealing all the money, who ends up being the villain in the movie's nephew, and starts the whole mess behind the scenes of what's actually going on in the bar.
Yes.
And he's sitting there telling every single guy and every single girl, be nice. This is how we're gonna do it. When you kick someone out, you're nice.
What if they call you a name?
What do you mean they call me what?
If they call you a cocksucker?
Well, a cocksucker is just two nouns combined that elicit a prescribed response.
I love that. I probably could have used this advice at Penn State.
Dude, I immediately thought you, and I was not going to bring this up unless you did.
When I was watching, I was thinking of me. I was like, God damn it, where was Dalton at Penn State? Fuck.
Who would have thought Roadhouse would be an educational movie? Oh, I love it, dude. But yeah, I thought that was a banger. And he slowly starts to like change the mindset of it and the mindset of everybody in the bar to do things his way. And as he starts to run it, you see all the problems starting. And one of my favorite lines in it is, "It's gonna get worse before it gets better, bud."
Yep.
And
he's been through it before.
Golly, did it. Yeah.
And he knew it because he went to the tire store. When he bought the car, he bought extra tires because he knew he knew somebody was going to slash his tires.
He knew. He's like,
this ain't my first rodeo.
Oh, they went for the windshield too.
There's something Zen-like with. I mean, we find out later that he's a legitimate philosopher, but there's a Zen-like presence to Dalton that just is fun. There's the one scene where he's doing Tai Chi. I'm not a big Tai Chi guy.
Not a big Tai Chi guy, unless
he looked
Patrick
good doing
Swayze's
Tai Chi.
doing
I will say that. He looked real good doing Tai Chi.
If doing Tai Chi like that means I can rip somebody's throat out, I'll fucking start doing it right now.
Can we talk about
that? Just have that in the back pocket, just like.
Can we talk about the sexuality through this whole film? I mean, I guess we'll get to that later. Let's just keep going through the plot.
Yeah. The best thing about Patrick Swayze in the beginning of this movie is he is like the poster child for like when you start acting like
oh my
this.
Gosh. Look at that back.
Look at this scene though. The pan around, you see the beautiful land that he's on. Like, how did he find a fucking rent-a-barn over here on this fucking property across on a pond? Like, you want to talk about a perfect situation.
I do love how he just ingratiates himself to the community, to all these just like figures that like need help. Like, he's their protector.
Oh, he immediately went from, saving he has to turn this Double Deuce around to saving the community from this fucking shitbags that have been running it for
bouncer.
Forever.
By the way, he's called a cooler. Have you ever heard a bouncer called a cooler? I've never
that was
heard
pretty
that term.
Sweet. I haven't heard of that one. No.
Yeah, I like that though. It's like you're not bouncing people; you're cooling the situations down.
Everybody be cool.
I like that.
Chill out. Everybody calm down.
For those of you that haven't seen the film then progresses as Dalton tries to clean up the Double Deuce. He runs into this gentleman, Ben Wesley, and it's apparent that Ben Wesley is a piece of shit, and in some ways, some type of underground mafioso where he's got people involved
in every pocket.
They're a part of like this club, but they have to be a part of the club. If they're not a part of the club and they're not paying them money, then he just ruins their establishment and life.
Running the unions.
Yeah, pretty bad guy. There's also a love story to this. That's right.
Oh, Doc.
Dr. Clay. That's right. She is, a smoke show. Fantastic lady. Who Dalton meets after the first knife infliction. Well, his second knife infliction on his arm. This one he can't stitch up himself. No, this one's in his ribs. He has to get it stitched up his ribs.
Yep.
Meets the doc immediately. I mean, you could tell they're feeling each other. They're getting the googly eyes.
Yeah,
And
why don't you come on down to the Double Deuce?
that's right.
Let me buy you a drink, doctor.
So they start to, have feelings for each other, and that gets into a whole nother thing. And then, it just continues to like Wesley wants to retain control over the Double Deuce. Dalton is trying to fix the Double Deuce, and the only way he can fix it is by ridding the Double Deuce of Wesley's control. So his goons start trying to pretty much strong arm Dalton into giving into him, and he's not doing it. The bar's fighting back. It's getting to a point that he needs help. So his buddy Wade Garrett, played by Sam Elliott, comes on down. Clearly they have history. They don't get into it too much, I don't think, but they've been through this show before, and it's Wade Elliott and Dalton fighting against Ben. At some point, it feels like his best friend's like hitting on his girl. Did you pick up on that too?
That was it
was kind of a dirtbag move by Wade.
And then a real aggressive
But I didn't know if he was
which
being
was probably
playful.
acceptable back in the 80s. But
With showing a lady your pubes? I didn't like, he had a scar and he didn't need to unbutton it and show the top half of his pubic. Like, he could have just flapped down that one section. I did not remember seeing Sam Elliott's pubes.
dude, Sam Elliott
first
without
time
a
around.
mustache kind of fucked me up too.
He had a mustache, didn't he?
No, he had
This
a
is
beard.
just a beard.
Yeah.
That's right. It was a full beard.
Like, I'm thinking, like, when I think of Sam Elliott, I think of, like,
that mustache cowboy western.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a smooth operator either way, man. He had the locks.
No doubt. From there, things continually start to digress even more. Things reach a boiling point when Wesley lights fire to Dr. Clay's uncle's establishment, and it all starts blowing up, to which Dalton finds Jimmy Reno, who is the right-hand man to Ben Wesley, jumps on him was he riding a motorcycle or a dirt bike? Something
Yeah,
like
he's
that,
trying
right?
a little getaway bike.
Little getaway bike. Dalton jumps on him, spears him off the bike, and then they get into a battle.
It's on like
I'm not going to
Donkey
lie.
Kong.
Jimmy Reno's shit talking was way better in this battle. Dalton was very simplistic in his shit talking. Like, all this has happened. He's lit fire to a guy's house. He's lit fire to a barn or like house. Jimmy Reno's a big fire guy.
I know
Kind of
exactly
a
what you're talking
pyromaniac.
Yeah, I know.
Lights
exactly
fire to the establishment. Then he lights fire to the barn, and Dalton's had enough. He's like, fuck. He tackles him off, and then he's like, Reno's talking shit to him, and he just says, "You are such an asshole." Like, if that's not the understatement of the year, like,
Yeah,
and then
that's only the start of it.
well, Jimmy Reno hits him with the line mid-fight when he's got the upper hand. He thinks he's about to win. He hits him with the line, "I used to guys like you in prison," which that's a hell of a line to rip out. Can I say something? Normally we don't bleep out curse words because we want this show to be authentic. I think we need to bleep out whenever we say, "I used to guys like you in prison." Like, it feels too aggressive to like leave unadulterated in the episode. And then
That was a fucking wild ass. I
that
wasn't
was a
expecting
crazy
that
line.
one. You heard that, and then you saw his throat get yanked
And
out.
then did you
you're
see
just
what
like,
Dalton said after? You know what Dalton says to that?
No.
All he says back is, "Go fuck yourself." It's like, bro, that's not a good. He won that talking shit. But anyways, Dalton wins with the throat rip, which there's
Fatality.
this underlying tone. Yeah, right. First of all, just impeccable technique on the throat rip. I mean, the claws, like, just immediately going right for the esophagus, and he
Yep.
just nailed it. I think there's an underlying through the whole film of this PTSD that Dalton has. We learned that he has already previously done a throat rip, and he feels bad that he killed a person, even though Wade tries to remind him that it had to be done. And then all of a sudden he gets to this boiling point, this stoic, like, very controlled man, Dalton, gets to this boiling point, and he just rips it out again. To which Dr. Clay, seeing
just
how high
horrifying.
of a level
Just-
that
just-
Swayze can get to, is just like, "Oh my God, this guy just ripped the throat out. Maybe I shouldn't be with
I
this
don't
guy.
need to be around this.
This is a little bit intense.
You
We could have just
glad-
left."
Yeah. Well, how else am I supposed to be?
And just when you think it's kind of over, I mean, I feel like once you've proven you can throat rip, I feel like usually you would think the bad guys would go away, but
no.
not Wesley. Wesley goes on to give Dalton a call at the Double Deuce and says, you got to choose between her, Dr. Clay, and Wade. Oh, wait, no, I'm going to flip a coin. I'm going to kill one of them. That's what it is. He's not going to choose. Flip a coin. Doesn't tell him which one. He goes to Dr. Clay, for some reason leaving Wade. Like, why? If you know that he just said, I'm going to kill one of them, why not bring Wade with you to Dr. Clay? I thought that was a big, he fucked that one up. Take Wade with you. Just put him in the car.
You definitely don't leave him alone.
Don't leave him by himself.
Yeah.
He fucked that one up.
Yeah, especially, yeah.
So he leaves Wade, goes to Dr. Clay. Dr. Clay's like, listen, I ain't fucking with you anymore. You just ripped a guy's throat out. We're not in this together
Actually,
anymore.
I can't be seen with you right
You're
now.
a psychopath.
If you come around here one more time, I will get a restraining order. Okay? I just saw you fucking rip someone's throat out. You were so hot until that. Now you're just scary.
I can't believe I used to think you were sexy.
You were so hot. Gosh.
So Dalton goes back to the Double Deuce only to find a knife in his best friend and confidant's chest, to which he loses it and decides to go attack Ben Wesley at his house.
Yes.
Wesley's waiting. He knows that an angry Dalton's coming. Dalton pulls a pretty cool move. He puts a knife in the gas pedal with the car to create a diversion.
Yeah, from about a mile out, too. It was crazy. I don't know how he had the precision to keep that car going down the road, the dirt road. But
we don't need to ask questions.
Yeah.
But then Dalton proceeds to kill everybody throughout the house, knocks the polar bear and the fat guy, and then gets into an altercation, the final boss battle with Wesley. And he's winning him. He's knocked the gun out of his hand a couple times, and he's got him pinned, and he's about to go for the throat rip, and he realizes this is where I got to be the bigger man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk away.
Can't do that. Nope.
And when he walks away, I don't know. He didn't know that the other people were there.
No. That was the universe responding to his kindness.
Yeah, but why did he just get up? He had to know that Wesley was just going to go grab the gun again and try and kill him, but he just walks away. And then out of nowhere, all of the townspeople are in the house. They haven't been referenced
people that have
at
been
all.
Fucked over by Wesley.
They haven't been referenced at all.
The car salesman, the car, what is it? The maintenance shop, the car dealership, the
owner of the Double Deuce,
the guys that Wesley had a strong arm over the entire time. The farmer, everybody got their shot in.
Yeah, they're all just sitting there. I don't know where they came from. They knew that Dalton, did Dalton call them before he went over there? Because otherwise why would they go to Wesley's house?
Because the universe told them to, Jason.
All right. Well, they end up there, and they each proceed to shoot him with a shotgun in this very dramatic scene.
It was beautiful.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because he had all the game trophies around the room.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, the trophy room.
All the animals.
And it had showed all the lives he had taken. And
that's one theme. I didn't think about that. Yeah. I thought it was just a symbol of everybody saying enough is enough, right? Anyways, they each shoot him with a shotgun. He dies. Then a cop comes. The first time this entire movie, there's been assaults, there's been stabbings, there's been people have been knocked unconscious. The first time you see a cop the entire movie, and they said most inept motherfucker of all time. He's like, what happened here? And everybody's just like, I didn't see anything. Did you, Billy? I didn't see anything. What about you, Kevin? I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything.
The only thing the guy said he saw is he saw a polar bear.
That's it.
That was the end of it. Everybody just got away with it.
Me and you both. We always saw.
And then Dr. Clay came to her senses because Dalton had saved the town, and everybody lived happily ever after.
Yeah, and he pulled. I'm pretty sure Dr. Clay's related to the gentleman that he was renting the house from.
Favorite scene? I think the shotgun finale is fantastic. The throat rip scene is great.
Yeah.
We already talked about the Tai Chi scene.
I just like that first scene in the actual deuce.
Double
deuce. Where
it is
just
a good
showing
scene.
all the havoc and just the fucking village idiots that are in there every night just drinking out the tap. Dude, it was hilarious.
Oh, gosh. That is so good. All right. Let's give it a PFF grade. Score from 1 to 10. on cinematography. All right. Cinematography. It's definitely dated. You know, it's an 89 movie, but I like the scenes. I like the sets. I'll go 7.5.
You're tough. I'll give it an 8. I enjoyed it.
Acting. I mean, I would not say that this is a good acting movie.
Dude, I was telling you,
as great as it is, and maybe the bad acting is part of the reason it's great. I'm going to give the acting a 5.
Dalton
I'm going to give it a 5.
Absolutely no emotion at all until I forget, until like Wesley actually started to like ruin like people's like livelihoods.
I think you're right on that. So what are you going? Is it lower than a 5? The acting's really bad.
The fight scenes are awesome though.
The fight scenes are great.
I do love the fight scenes.
It's
so
like hilarious.
I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
All right. Directing, I mean a 10. It's absolutely hilarious.
It's not supposed to be funny, but I can't help it. It's like it's not, but it is.
The reason it's a 10 is it's just like everything is max for what the movie is. It's
one of my favorite scenes of the entire movie is when he throws the knife in the fucking the accelerator in the car.
Yes.
The gas pedal. Throws the knife in the gas pedal.
Yeah.
And the car goes straight for like a half a mile.
Yep.
And then on top of that, not only does it go up a ramp, but it turns over and it's fucking fire comes out of it like it was being exploded.
Well, that's because the guy with the shotgun shot the fuel tank. That's what was supposed to happen. Like it was like a shooting clay. That's what I'm saying. It was just
all right. Somehow we have to have a car going in the air. That was like the 80s. Like, all right, let's do it. Bring in the blow up car.
Like between the lines, I mean, I know that's writing, but like the directing, like the way everything came together and the just complete hodgepodge of masculinity combined with like sexuality combined with it's fantastic. Did you know the director's name is literally Rowdy?
No.
That's great. All right.
Rowdy Harrington. Shout out to Rowdy Harrington, man.
I will say plot. I think the plot is low.
I think the plot is high. I do. I think this was a very, very creative plot. I don't think this is like that's why I think the movie has been recreated. It's because the plot of like a guy going in and saving a bar from its fucking
and hence saving a town.
Then saving a town. It's like I don't know. Maybe I'm silly, but I just think that's not like your typical like action movie.
I think it's pretty typical action. I'll go plot, but I do. I mean, you're right. I don't know. The plot's falls in love with the doctor. Like if it wasn't done in such like an absurd way.
Yeah. It's not like this is like a cop going in and like getting out dirty cops and like they don't bring the police in this thing at all. It's just literally like crosstown, like warfare.
Yeah. If you take the throat rip out, all the absurdity of it, and it's just the bare bones plot to it. Like a bouncer comes in, he helps fixing up an establishment, ingratiates himself to a community and starts to slowly find out that there's an underground set of bad guys that are really hurting the city. And he helps the city muster up the strength and courage to fight back and resist that. All right, fine. You convinced me. I'll go 8 on plot. 8 on plot.
Nice. I'll go a solid 8 with you just because I convinced you.
Character development.
Dude, again, another one of those, like I said earlier, like that first half of the movie, he gives you less is more. And like, that's the thing. Those are like the things that I was being told as like getting into like the acting world, like less is more. Don't do a lot.
We don't need,
don't do a lot. We don't need you to be, Denzel Washington or like Leonardo. Like you don't have to be the best at this. All right. Less is more. Feel the scenes out. And that's exactly what Swayze's doing in the beginning. He's giving you absolutely just one word answers and one word lines, no emotion, straight face. And then by the end of it, he is just a out of control, just like a trained killer. He was an absolute trained killer and showing so much emotion that he couldn't control it.
That's really what the story ends up being about. This story is about like, you can only take so much. Like, turn the other cheek, but eventually you got to stick up for yourself. You got to put your foot down. You got to fight back at some point. And Dalton does a great job of holding back as long as he can. And this community has been bullied and taken advantage of for so long. Yeah. Anyways, character development. I just don't know. I mean, Dalton's character, he's got like PTSD from a previous throat rip.
I just thought he'd be bigger than what he was.
Do you know how many times I haven't said that my entire career whenever I meet somebody
Every
else?
time. I've been getting sized up from fucking everyone my entire career.
Thought you'd be bigger. Yeah.
Well,
Go fuck yourself.
try and guard me one-on-one.
That's what my wife says. All righty. Character
Jesus.
development.
I enjoyed it. Give me a 7.
Fine. Yes.
We gave you guys our reviews.
Hold up. That's a PFF grade of 7.8. I think that's a pretty solid PFF
It's pretty
grade.
solid, yeah. What did we give torture? I mean, not torture. What did we give
I think you got an 80.
Traveling Pants?
I think you got an 8.2 or something like that, maybe.
We fucked this up. We were being too nice. I blame Jason.
Well, one of them is actually trying to be like a good film. This is just a freaking...
Dude's movie.
It's a great movie. It's so good. All right. Letterbox reviews. From the Greek Creek. I used to guys like you in prison. The Greek Geek. We can't keep saying this line, but I'm going to repeat it one more time. I used to guys like you in prison is the 80s version of I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. Okay, so I'm not the only one who thought that.
Nope, it's a banger.
All right.
From David Chen. When people talk about how movie executives in the 80s were doing excessive amounts of cocaine, this is the kind of film these executives end up making.
This is very accurate. This is a very good take by
Nice.
David
All right,
Chen.
do you think we could get away with a throat being yanked out of another human being?
That's a very good take, David. All righty. From Ian West. 80s bar Western with a hell of a first act. Then shit starts exploding. Silver Fox Sam Elliott shows up. And during a showdown, the villain's henchman says, I used to guys like you in prison. Moments before getting his throat ripped out by Patrick Swayze. Sounds like at least 4 stars to me.
That's what I'm saying. We need to bump that PFF grade up to at least an 8.
Well, what is a letterbox? What is 4 stars? Is 4 stars the most you can get out of 5? So, I mean, 4 stars out of 8 is an 8. 4 stars out of 5 is an 8 out of 10. So
Now
we're
you
pretty much
understand
right
my
on
logic.
board with where David
We need
is.
to bump this up to an 8. That's what I said. Nice.
All right.
Either way, we were pretty close.
I like our score. I think it's fair. Would I recommend this movie? Yes, absolutely.
I would
90%.
recommend this to a man. I would not recommend this to a woman.
I would recommend it to a woman if you want to understand how men think good movies go. If you
You're
want to
right.
get to the root
If
of
you
like
if you recommend it with that attached to the recommendation, then yes, I would recommend this to everyone.
if you want to understand men more, watch Roadhouse.
It's so fucked up, but it's so true.
Like even the love story with Dr. Clay, like there's not like any type of substance put to it. She's just really good looking and she takes
thinks-
care of him a little bit. Like that's the extent of it.
Yeah, I mean, he reads, and that'll help you out. If you read and you do yoga,
He's a gentleman. He's very chivalrous.
there you go.
And that does it for New Heights Film Club, brought to you by Burger King.